Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Awesome, and welcome back to another episode of the Ryan Awesome Show. Now, we're here to talk about Friday Night SmackDown for January the 10th, 2025. Now, for this show, I was really looking forward to the follow-up with Solo Sikoa in the Tribal Combat match on Monday Night Raw. And so, yeah, but we didn't get it. We didn't get it, man. We didn't get no follow-up on Solo. Solo wasn't even on the show tonight. He was mentioned, but he never showed up. But we did get a follow-up on Roman Reigns. But the main thing I was looking forward to on tonight's show was the follow-up on what was going to happen to Solo Sikoa on, right after the Tribal Combat match. But yeah, overall, it was a thumbs up show. It was a really good show. I enjoyed that Fatal 4-Way women's match. Enjoyed the Motor City Machine Guns and A-Town Down Under that match. I really enjoyed that match too. Those are probably the highlights. Those are probably the best matches on the show for me. I was really disappointed that we didn't get the Solo follow up. But we did find out that Solo is going to make his return next week. So hopefully we'll get a follow-up on Solo and him getting booted out of his own bloodline. For those of you that don't know, SmackDown is 3 hours now. Last week was 3 hours. This week is 3 hours, so they're going to continue to be 3 hours. And I'm not a fan of it, man. I'm really not a fan of a 3-hour show, especially SmackDown. I can expect it from Raw, but not SmackDown, not on a Friday night. Like, nobody wants to watch 3 hours of wrestling on a Friday night. But overall, man, it was a good show, man. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the show. And just like what I said, the Fatal 4-Way women's match and the Motor City Machine Guns, A-Town Down Under were my favorite matches on the show. Yeah, we were live in Portland, Oregon. And so the new commentary team for SmackDown is Joe Tessitore and Wade Barrett. So we got the Raw announced team switched over to the SmackDown announced team. And so we kicked off the show with Paul Heyman. The wise man, Paul Heyman, he's in the ring and he's on cloud nine. And so he said that he has some news for Cody Rhodes from Roman Reigns, the only tribal chief. So Cody Rhodes is the WWE champion. And so Cody came out to the ring. And he and Paul Heyman, they both shook each other's hands. Heyman, he has said that Cody has earned the respect from Roman Reigns. And Heyman has said now that Roman Reigns has the Ulafala back, he now wants his WWE championship back. And so in order to get his championship back, he has to enter the Royal Rumble. So Paul Heyman, he declared Roman Reigns as part of the Royal Rumble match. And he said that Roman will win the Rumble match and he's going to go ahead and face Cody Rhodes and take the WWE championship. And so Heyman, he had asked Cody Rhodes, what do you want to talk about? And so before Cody Rhodes can get a word out, Kevin Owens, he interrupted with a microphone. You just heard Kevin Owens' voice. And he came out from the crowd. And so Kevin Owens, he's still upset that the fact that Cody Rhodes aligned himself with Roman Reigns and all them. And so, Cody Rhodes, he gotten tired of hearing Kevin Owens' mouth. And so he left the ring and he went after Kevin Owens and they just started brawling in the crowd. And so that got Paul Heyman's attention. Right, so Paul Heyman was watching the fight from inside the ring, and so right from behind, you had Jacob, Fatu, and Tama. They came out. Paul Heyman, he doesn't know nothing about it, and so he turned around. Paul Heyman is afraid, of course, and so they just cornered Paul Heyman, and yeah, Jimmy Uso's music hit, and I love Jimmy Uso's music, bro. I really do. Jay Uso's music gets so much love, but Jimmy Uso music don't get no love at all. So I was glad to hear his song. So Jimmy, his music had hit. He came out and he took out Jacob and Tama by himself. And so Jimmy had hit Fatu with a chair. And so Fatu, he had no sold it and just blasted Jimmy. And so he had a referee. We had a referee came in the ring. And so, yeah, on Monday Night Raw, the referees were dressed in black striped shirts. So on SmackDown, the referees are dressed the same with the black striped shirts. So I'm guessing they keeping the referees dressed the same. Fatu had took out this referee, gave him a super kick, and then Cody had showed back up, and he helped clear out the bloodline. And so, yeah, this was a really chaotic and fun opener. We got news that Roman Reigns is a part of the Royal Rumble match. So far, the announced people for the Rumble are John Cena and Roman Reigns. And so this is Roman Reigns' first Royal Rumble match since 2020. And, all the other years he's been champion. So that's why he hasn't been in a Rumble. So these two are the favorites. Who will win this match? Monday, I said John Cena. John Cena might win. So now that Roman is in the Rumble match, I don't know now. the security guys, right? The security people, they try to take Tama Tonga and Fatu. They try to get Tama Tonga and Fatu out of the arena. And so Fatu had pie face one of those guys. And, just telling him, get your hands off me, man. And so LA Knight out of nowhere, he came out of nowhere and just took out Fatu. He just punched him in the face and just threw him out and closed the door behind him. LA Knight has said, I have a United States Championship to win back. And speaking of United States Championship matches, we had the Women's United States Championship match. It was Michin versus Chelsea Green, who is the Women's United States Champion. First ever Women's United States Champion, with Piper Niven in her corner. And so this match, I love the finish of the match, but the match itself wasn't all that special. But the finish was cool. Really cool finish. So what was the finish? So Michin, she had went for a crossbody. She dove and hit the crossbody, but Chelsea Green, she had rolled backwards. Used the momentum to roll herself backwards, and she just rolled up Michin by pulling her tights for the pinfall win. So Chelsea Green wins the match and still United States Champion, Women's United States Champion. So yeah, after the match, Michin tried taking out Green. So Michin was being a sore loser. She tried to attack Green, but Piper Niven had took out Michin, attacked her, and hit her with a running senton. And so after that, we had a backstage segment with Nick Aldis. He was backstage with the tag team division, most of the tag team division. We had Pretty Deadly, Los Garzas, Motor City Machine Guns, and A-Town Down Under. No Street Profits and no DIY. And so Aldis, he had made a match with Los Garzas versus Pretty Deadly and the Motor City Machine Guns versus A-Town Down Under later on tonight. And so we had the Los Garzas and Pretty Deadly match. So, yeah, the Los Garza. So, Berto, he did a tope suicida. He overshotted it and landed right on the ground. And so, yeah, it was really a heel versus heel match. Even though as of late, they've been portraying Los Garzas as baby faces now, I guess, because of Pretty Deadly blaming them for attacking, the Street Profits. But yeah, it was a heel versus heel match, but the entire match, Los Garzas were the baby faces and Pretty Deadly were the heels. And Los Garzas won the match by cheating, right? Elektra Lopez, she had got on the ring apron. She distracted the referee on one side. And so on the other side of the ring, we had Santos Escobar. He had crotched one of the Pretty Deadly guys. It was the blonde one. I don't even know his name, but it was the blonde Pretty Deadly guy. And so he had the tag team finish move to the blonde Pretty Deadly guy. And that tag team finishing move looked deadly. Like, it looked brutal. So Los Garzas wins the match. And so after that match, we had the United States Championship match for the men. And it was LA Knight versus Shinsuke Nakamura, who is the United States Champion. Shinsuke Nakamura has a cool entrance, man. I love the darker side of Shinsuke. And the one thing I didn't like was when LA Knight made his entrance, and then Lillian Garcia, who is the ring announcer on SmackDown, she announced LA Knight, right? And so she said LA Knight, and she added the yeah part. So that's the part I didn't like. Like, why do the ring announcer have to say yeah? Just let the crowd say yeah. It just ruins the whole thing when the ring announcer just say yeah. It's the crowd job. So just announce his name, just say LA Knight, and let the crowd say yeah. That was my only thing I didn't like. But at one point in the match, the middle turnbuckle came off from a counter roll attempt. LA Knight went for his superplex spot where he runs to the corner and he jump to the top rope. I get nervous every time he do it because, man, it feel like he's just gonna trip, like slip up one day. And he actually did before, but he didn't do it this time. So he hit the move on Shinsuke, got a near fall, 2.99 seconds. And then LA Knight, he had locked in a reverse Boston Crab. So you usually don't see LA Knight do submission holds, but he had him in a Boston Crab, a reverse Boston Crab. And so they both were going back and forth with, they try to both hit each other's finishing moves, right? They try to hit each other with their finishing moves. So Shinsuke, he had hit the Kinshasa to Knight, but Knight had put his foot on the rope. And then Shinsuke tried to set up for the Kinshasa again, but he hit the Kinshasa. He hit the Kinshasa on the exposed turnbuckle. And then LA Knight hit his finishing move, the BFT to Nakamura. And they were both out. And then after that, we had Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu. They came out, right? So they took out LA Knight for a disqualification, right? Championships don't change hands in a disqualification match. So Nakamura retains his championship. So we had a series. It was hip attacks to Knight from Fatu. And he hit his diving moonsault tonight. And then Cody Rhodes and Jimmy Uso, they came out to save the day. And they fought Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu. And then Cody Rhodes, he grabbed the microphone and he just challenged Fatu and Tama to a tag team match. And Nick Aldis was out there too with the other producers and security to separate these guys. And then, Cody Rhodes, he challenged both of them to a tag team match. And Nick Aldis, he approved of it. He gave the thumbs up. So the tag team match is set up later on tonight. And so the next match right here was the match of the night for me at this point. We had the Motor City Machine Guns. That's Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin versus A-Town Down Under. That's Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. Match of the night, just like what I said, great back and forth. I don't have everything written out, but Theory and Grayson Waller, they have great chemistry together. And they were able to hold their own against the Motor City Machine Guns, who are well-traveled, well-experienced, one of the best tag teams on this earth right now, today. The finish of this match was the Skull and Bones to Theory. So that's the Motor City Machine Guns finishing move, the Skull and Bones to Austin Theory to win the match. And so backstage, we had DIY, Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. They were watching the match backstage and they were disappointed. And then Pretty Deadly, they showed up, right? They showed up backstage and they were upset that Ciampa and Gargano didn't save them. They didn't help them out. They pointed out that, we helped you out. We helped you guys out last week. We had a deal. Ciampa was angry. And so Johnny Gargano just calmed him down. And Johnny, he was like, you know what? Okay, guys. Okay, you guys will get your match. You guys will get your title match. You guys will get your title match soon, all right? You'll get it. And so they both just walked out. And so they left. And Apollo Crews has showed up. Apollo Crews, what the heck he's been. But Apollo Crews showed up and he said, if you believe anything that come out of their mouths, you deserve everything coming your way. So backstage, we had Nia Jax, the former women's champion, and Candice LeRae. They were backstage. LeRae had told Nia Jax that Tiffany Stratton, she's on her way to the ring right now. And so Nia, she said that she's going to get a piece of Tiffany. And then after that, we had the celebration, the Tiffany Stratton's Women's Championship celebration. For those of you that didn't watch SmackDown last week, Tiffany Stratton, she cashed in her Money in the Bank contract. And so, it was a swerve. She had cashed in her Money in the Bank contract on Nia Jax. And so, Byron Saxton was in the ring. And he congratulated Tiffany Stratton. And then Tiffy says, thank you. And she said, it's Tiffy time. It's Tiffy time. And so, she said it's Tiffy time. And she's at the Tiffy top. The tippy top, the Tiffy top. And Byron had brought up the point that Nia Jax had bullied her, but Tiffy had cut Byron off and said that she was never bullied by Nia. She was friends with Nia Jax to get close. She was friends with her because she wanted to get close to Nia Jax. And so she gotten close to her, and then Nia thought that she was just some typical blonde, dumb bimbo But at the end of the day, Tiffany Stratton, she outsmarted Nia Jax by getting close to her and, knowing all her secrets and all that stuff. And she was able to take a championship. And then Tiffy, she just tell everybody, just put some respect on my name. Put some respect on her name. And yeah, just like what she said, she belongs at the Tiffy top. And it's Tiffy time, right? And so Nia Jax, her music had hit. She came out. She was not happy at all. Jax has said that she made Tiffany Stratton to what she is today. And Jax demanded that Tiffy gives her championship back or she'll take it from her by force. And so Bayley's music had hit. And Bayley had told Nia to shut the hell up. And so Bayley, she wants a championship match. And so, yeah, when she said that and Naomi's music had hit, I was like, oh, I know where this is going now. It's like somebody going to say they want a championship match and then somebody else music going to hit. They want a championship match. So, yeah, Naomi music hit and she and Bianca Belair came out together. And Naomi said, she would be standing here as the women's champion right now if it wasn't for Tiffany Stratton causing her to match. And then, Nia came up to Naomi and said, Naomi, nobody cares about you. Nobody cares about you. And so a fight had broke out with all four of these ladies. And Tiffany Stratton, she went to the top rope. And everybody else was standing everybody was standing there waiting for her to jump off the top with her moonsault. So she hit the prettiest moonsault on everybody while they were standing up. And so Tiffany, she was celebrating on the stage, right? Holding up her championship high in the air. And so Nick Aldis walks behind her. He shows up and says that this is going to be a fatal four-way match tonight. It's going to be not only a fatal four-way match, it's going to be a fatal four-way #1 contenders match. So whoever wins this match, they're going up against Tiffany Stratton for the women's championship. And so the match, it starts right now. So we have a fatal four-way #1 contenders match. So we have Naomi, Bayley, Bianca Belair, and Nia Jax. And so just like what I said, this was one of the best matches on the show too. So we had a double suplex to Bianca Belair and Naomi from Nia Jax, and it looked rough. It wasn't even a suplex, it was a brain buster. They both landed on their heads. And then we had the Tower of Doom spot. The Tower of Doom spot where all four of these ladies, they're in the corner and they all take a bump, right? Bayley, she gotten it the worst. She was in the Samoan drop position from Nia Jax. And so, yeah, Bayley, she took the brunt of it. And at one point, Candice LeRae, she ran out to the ring to try to help Nia Jax get back into the match. And then Bianca, she tried to go for the KOD, right, on Bayley. And so Candice LeRae, she got on the ring apron and held on to Bianca Belair's braid. And so she let go of the braid, and then the braid had whipped Naomi. So it made it look like Bianca had whipped Naomi. So yeah, Nia and Bianca, they were fighting outside the ring, and they took each other out near the announcer's desk. And so to end the match, we had the Rose Plant to Naomi from Bayley to win the match. So therefore, Bayley wins the match. It is the #1 contender for Tiffany Stratton's WWE Women's Championship. And so backstage, we had Cody Rhodes, the WWE champion, and Jimmy Uso. They were backstage getting ready for their match in the main event, tag team match. Cody Rhodes, he had told Jimmy, he knew that Roman was going to ask for his championship back. But he said, but tonight it's not all about that. Tonight we need to focus on taking out Fatu and Tama. And so Cody Rhodes, he left, and then Carmelo Hayes that came out, right? Carmelo Hayes that showed up, and he confronted Jimmy. And, he felt disrespected. He felt disrespected by what Jimmy, Jay, and Sammy did. They really cooked him, really. So he felt disrespected by what happened last week, and he threatened him. And so Jimmy, he had asked Carmelo, like, what do you usually say when Melo shoot, he doesn't miss? With all those bricks that you have, you can make a house out of it. Bayley, who's the #1 contender, Byron Saxton was back there. He congratulated Bayley on her win. And we found out that the championship match is next week. So the championship match is next week. And Bayley, I don't have exactly what she said, but I'm gonna paraphrase. She basically said that she's prepared. She's prepared for Tiffany, and she's gonna take the championship. Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga, they were walking backstage. They were on their way to the ring. Jacob, he had said to Jimmy, the difference between my bloodline and your bloodline is that your bloodline put you out in the front line, or they left you out in the front line. And so Jacob, he had told Cody, I am your nightmare. And so we went into the tag team main event, Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga versus Cody Rhodes and Jimmy Uso. So, of course, no Solo Sikoa. Solo Sikoa have not shown up at all. He was mentioned, but he never showed up at all. So Jacob did his whole I love you Solo. And I was surprised. Because I thought that, he would be disappointed that his tribal chief, his so-called tribal chief, lost the match and he lost to Ulafala. So I'm guessing they doing that just to throw us off. But I think, he's really pissed that, that Solo lost. He has no tribal chief. Yeah, this was a cool move right here from Tama. So Tama, he had a guillotine, looked like a guillotine DDT to Cody Rhodes. I never seen anybody hit a move like that ever. I seen a guillotine choke, but a guillotine choke turned into a DDT. Really nice. So towards the end of the match, we had the Power and Glory spot, right? The Tama. So we had this, it was a superplex follow up by the splash, the Uso splash. And then Kevin Owens, he had showed up during the match. He walked up from the entranceway. He showed up, and so Cody Rhodes left the ring, and he fought off Kevin Owens to the back. And then Jimmy, he takes on Fatu and Tama by himself. And he fought him alone. He speared Tama, and he gave Tama a Uso splash. He went for the cover. Jacob Fatu had pulled him out of the ring. And so Jacob Fatu just started slamming Jimmy's head into the announcer table over and over and over again. And we brought the action back into the ring. Impaler DDT to Jimmy, follow up by the diving moonsault from Fatu to win the match. So therefore, Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga, they won this match. And after the match, KO and Cody Rhodes, they were fighting. They were still fighting in the back. And then they brought it out to the front near the crowd. And they fought on top of some production crates that was in the crowd. And Cody Rhodes, he had tackled Kevin Owens off of the crates into the tables. So they both crashed through two tables. And ahead of their Royal Rumble ladder match, that's on February the 1st. And so that was pretty much it, man. That was pretty much it with SmackDown. Just like what I said, man. I was really expecting a follow-up from the Solo Sikoa stuff. In my opinion, we should have gotten it, man. We should have gotten it, bro. But now we have to wait a whole nother week for it. We got a follow-up from Roman Reigns. We know that Roman Reigns is going to be a part of the Royal Rumble. And the only two that's announced, John Cena and Roman Reigns, that's the only news that we gotten. But I wish we would have gotten the Solo Sikoa follow-up. But we know that it's going to come next week. Overall, it was a thumbs-up show for me. I enjoyed it. That Fatal 4-Way women's match was really good. The Motor City Machine Guns match was really good. But yeah, just like what I said, the only downside, the only thing I'm disappointed at was the fact that we did not see Solo Sikoa or any follow-up on that Solo Sikoa stuff. But yep, that's pretty much it with the SmackDown review for January the 10th, 2025. And oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention this earlier. If you're watching D Ryan Awesome Show for the first time ever, hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And thanks again for the support, you guys. Thank you guys for showing up for the Monday Night Raw review. You guys did a great job at showing up and showing out. And once again, guys, thank you for the love and the support for the show. Thank you. And I'll see you guys on Monday for Monday Night Raw for the second episode of Raw on Netflix. See you guys when I see you guys. And once again, guys, thank you for the love and the support for the show. And if you guys missed the Monday Night Raw review from this past Monday, the Netflix debut, the link is in the description if you guys want to check it out. And this has been the Ryan Awesome Show. Take care, stay safe, and don't forget to be awesome, my awesome ones. And that's that. See you later, guys.